Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com, and it's a top-of-the-line T-Mobile smartphone dogfight. The T-Mobile G1 with Google, made by HTC, versus the BlackBerry Curve 8900. I've had the good fortune of spending quite a bit of time with each of these lovely, lovely phones. What do I think? And what do I think that might be of use to you? Let's find out. Alright, so just for the heck of it, because there's so much to talk about with each of these devices, and I've already done multiple videos on both of them, and they've both been out for a while, and you can find out all the details you want about both of these phones and BlackBerry apps and Android apps from, my videos and videos that John's done and stuff on the website that John's written and Aaron's written and, Courtney and Adrian and everybody else. There's so much information about these phones. I'm going to try to keep this really quick and to the point. Or as the Queens of the Stone Age would say, quick and to the pointless. Basically, I've spent a bunch of time with both of these devices, did a lot of reviewing of it, took the 8900 with me to Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, where it was my primary phone for a very, very busy week where I used it a lot. And this is what I can tell you. Straight up, before I even get to the end, I can't do that. What I can tell you is this. The 8900 does not have 3G. The G1 does. But it's T-Mobile 3G, so it's really only going to work for you in the US. If you're going international, you're not going to get the 3G, so that kind of doesn't matter. Both phones have Wi-Fi. Both phones have QWERTY keyboards. Here's the QWERTY keyboard on the G1. Both phones have trackballs. The G1 has a touchscreen. The BlackBerry does not. The G1 runs Android. The BlackBerry 8900 runs one of the latest builds of the BlackBerry OS. And there you go. Size-wise, the 8900 is smaller and lighter. They're, thickness-wise, it's not too much different. The G1 is definitely thicker, but kind of overall bulk. The 8900 is a little bit wider, but kind of overall bulk and hand feel and stuff. The G1 just feels, to me anyway, much bigger in the hand than in use and in the pocket. The 8900 a little bit thinner. 8900 has a 3.5mm headphone jack. The G1 uses the HTC proprietary connector, USB connector. You can plug in USB headphones or a dongle that'll give you a 3.5mm jack. The 8900 has a 3.2 megapixel camera, autofocus and flash. The G1, 3 megapixel camera, no flash. And, there you go. I think it comes down to this. The G1 is, if you want a touchscreen, obviously, you're going to have to go with the G1. It's a very good touchscreen. It's capacitive. It's very responsive. Technically, it's not multi-touch, but there are hacks to enable multi-touch, et cetera, et cetera. Android is a new operating system. It still, has a ways to go to fulfill its promise. I think it's very cool, and there's a lot of potential, and the App Store is building and all that, but I keep hearing more and more that, Google's vision for Android is, more like 2.0 or even 3.0, where we're still in the 1 point something phase here as far as what version of the OS. So there's a ways to go. That being said, it still works pretty well, and there's an app store and all that kind of stuff. BlackBerry OS has been around for a while. They're just about to launch an official, app world, but supposedly maybe April 1st at CTAA. But there are all kinds of apps out there, all kinds of things you can do with the BlackBerry, huge user community, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. For me, it kind of comes down to this. I like the keyboard on the BlackBerry better. I like the form factor on the BlackBerry better. If you are a Gmail user, the Google Services integration on the G1 is fantastic. The little notifications drawer where you pull down and you can get to your Gmail and your voicemail and all your other notifications, I think it's very handy. It's very cool. I think you can see a lot more phones using that kind of thing. Palm Pre, HTC Touch Flow, it makes a lot of sense. The BlackBerry email system is tried and true, and if you are on Gmail, it works fine, but if you're not on Gmail, the BlackBerry's got a huge edge because the G1 can handle non-Gmail, but it's really meant to, draw you into using Google services. You have to sign up with a Google account. You don't have to use that as your primary email, but if you use Gmail on it, it works much better. It's just built around Google services. Web browsing, they both have solid web browsers. The screen on the G1's larger and you have a touch screen, but I actually found on the BlackBerry that the new build of the web browser with the trackball I think really worked really well, and I enjoyed using it. And, we'll show you, again, you can get to all this stuff in the many videos that we've done, but I'll show you real quick. Web browsing on both devices, I think just very good. and the newer build. For me, having the trackball almost makes the touchscreen is still handier, especially because it's a touchscreen and a trackball. But really, just having the trackball, that's kind of all I used, and it was fine, and I didn't really want for the touchscreen when I was using just the trackball. We'll show you Phone Dog on both devices real quick. As I said, keyboard-wise, I prefer the BlackBerry. The G1 keyboard is certainly not bad, but the key action, I just prefer the BlackBerry's key action. Especially for long-term use, I found the BlackBerry more comfortable to type on because the keys just press down further, have a better action, even though the G1's keyboard is actually, physically you can see larger and more spaced out. And I like the offset 5-row keyboard as opposed to the grid-aligned 4-row keyboard. So here's Phone Dog. You can see, larger screen, better resolution, but with the new BlackBerry browser, it's easy to zoom in, it's pretty responsive, it's easy to get around, scroll around the page and click on your links and all that kind of stuff. On the G1, obviously, the scrolling is great, all that kind of stuff. So really, it comes down in a nutshell for me to this. Form factor, BlackBerry definitely gets the plus. Everything else, I think the BlackBerry is more flexible in terms of which email system you're using. The Android operating system with the touchscreen is a little more fun, but it's just not quite, because the BlackBerry system works well, but it's definitely just like a little bit buttoned up and not quite as eye candy-licious and all the scrolling and all that kind of stuff as you would get on, the Android phone. But it's fine, it looks nice, it works very well, and the messaging features just can't be beat. And Android, there's just the combination of Android not being quite far enough along for me to put it in that, crazy touchscreen OS, rarefied air like the iPhone and like, what the Palm Pre promises. And then, the fact that the messaging integration, the real robust integration, really only works to its fullest if you use Google services, kind of limits it. So it's not quite, on the level of, again, what Palm Pre promises or what HTC TouchFlow 3D on the new versions coming out, the Touch Pro 2 and Diamond 2. When I saw that in Barcelona, was really pretty cool. And, Android's not quite there yet, and especially not if you're not using a Google account and Gmail as your primary email. Plus the fact that the BlackBerry has the 3.5mm headphone jack built in, which, you know me, that's a big thing for me, but I also think it's a big thing for a lot of people because you want to carry one device and they both have decent media players and, you want to plug in your own headphones and stereo Bluetooth just is not as good sound quality-wise as a wired headset. So for me, the Dogfight winner right here, the supreme smartphone on T-Mobile right now, I got to go BlackBerry 8900. The lack of 3G for me is not that big of a deal because it has Wi-Fi and the 3G doesn't matter that much for your messaging. You'll notice it if you're doing, a lot of heavy web browsing or that kind of stuff. But I think for the target market and for messaging and everything, I wish it had 3G. Not sure why it doesn't, but or I should say I wish I had 3G. I have some idea why it doesn't. But, it was still okay with just Edge and Wi-Fi. And the UMA calling is a big bonus on this as well. UMA calling on T-Mobile works very well if you're in an area with, poor reception, and also if you want to save a little money, which is one of T-Mobile's calling cards, if you will. So the winner of the Dogfight for me is the BlackBerry Curve 8900 on T-Mobile. That being said, we may see some cool new T-Mobile smartphones coming out at CTIA next week. Who knows? Lots of rumors about another HTC Android device. Hopefully, rumors about the Touch Pro 2 coming to T-Mobile. Who knows what else we might see. So stay tuned for that. All right. Till next time, the guy behind the camera, there I am in the G1 screen. The G1 has that nice reflective screen though. I'm Noah from PhoneDog.com. Don't take this as a diss on the G1. G1 is solid phone, but for me, I gotta go BlackBerry. There you go. Till next time, thanks for watching. Be sure to check out all the coverage on PhoneDog. I'm on both screens now. CTIA, everything else, play the One Pod Bandit. You can win a free phone. Thanks to our friends at all the different companies for sending stuff over for that ongoing giveaway. And we will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.